So what's everybody else doing? Well, while Oscar is like taking an account of the ship, all the stuff that, knowing Stanley, what he could eat. Gogo, you found du fromage, and like clearly there was interaction going on between Stanley and friend before you entered the room. Like he was unaware of your presence, and the scrambling was clearly like the oh crap, mom's home.
Right. I think once they left, Gogo's first task would have been to just survey her room and see what he was doing, like if things are out of place, like the entire time that they were gone, and
no,
possibly
nothing would be out of place at all.
Well, also possibly if said Stanley made things out of place or started to ruin things of certain nature in her room.
Oh, sure, blame Stanley.
Yeah,
because Gogo is meticulous and knows exactly where everything is in her room.
Yeah, no, and I think that because of that, I'm not even going to make you roll. Everything is exactly as you left it. Probably a little bit, like, disconcerting. Like, the crumpled pile of clothes you throw in the ground is, like, exactly folded as you remember it. And, like, if anything was disturbed in here, it has been meticulously put back into place prior to your arrival. There's just, like, the one, like, chair or whatever you've had out for... like the place that you've assigned friend to be in, that is probably the only thing that like maybe has moved a little bit or is out of place.
There's just an imprint in the seat.
Yeah, there's just a butt imprint
for hours and hours and hours. Great, perfect. Okay.
Yep. He's very dutiful.
Yeah, well, I mean that's both good and bad in terms of nothing in her room being missing. So I assume that friend has returned.
Yes, yeah, this would be about the time he returns.
I would ask him something along the, well, as best I can, because I don't really know.
We've determined you can,
I know, it's like rudimentary sentences, right?
Rudimentary understanding of what's going on. You've probably developed some amount of, like, sign language, like pointing and, you know,
of course,
fingers and shit like that, yeah.
I would ask him more or less what he was doing with the bug.
Sure, yeah, you word it out, and I think that the reply you get is like, I was instructed to take care of the ship, like considered crew part of ship.
Okay, so he's like tending to Stanley.
Sure, right, exactly. That is the emphasis that you get from that.
I would then ask him, how were you tending to him exactly?
He replies, and I mean, this is again something you notice, and I'll just reinforce this because again, it's been 3 weeks since we've seen each other. I'll reinforce this is with color on. It's very easy for him to like answer questions, and he's not like nervous or crazy at all when he does this. Like they're all very calm, very subservient, obviously, but very calm, very like detailed answers. Because
yeah, absolutely. Well, minus the language barrier.
Right. You tell him to do something. If he does it, then, you know, release of chemicals. I'm
working on that.
Right. Yeah. By the way, that's how it works. So yeah, no, I think the answer that you get was, like, creatures require X amount of, you know, activity time per day. It has been, and he probably says like, it's been like, he probably says it's been 4 days since I last saw, and then he calls it, like, if you called it the bug, he calls it also the bug.
That's what I would have called it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what he calls it, if that's what you call it.
I just picture him, like, playing fetch with him now and, like, stuff like that while we were gone. Yeah, I mean, okay, if I don't see anything or think that anything's weird with what he responded, I would just end it with, just know that bug does not belong in this room ever again.
Yeah, and when you say that, I think bent at waist, like head below his waistline, and he says, and basically you can gather it, he's said it a bajillion times before.
I get it.
Anything for the overseer. The overseer gives me my instructions, and my highest of gratitude to the overseer.
Yep.
I just wanted to say it again.
I know you did, and I know that that's why I let you finish. But, and then I think Gogo would dismiss him to go do what he pleased and
I'm
go
gonna
back
let
to
you
her
finish,
research.
but the overseer had.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I
Yeah.
was thinking. But yeah, and then I would go back to my research
Okay.
for X amount of time that we have before takeoff.
Yep, absolutely. I have a feeling you won't get much research time in because people want to take off fairly quickly. So,
Yeah.
Boomer Fortune, what are you guys up to arriving back on the ship? This is kind of a dull planet for the two of you.
I get a laser pistol.
Oh, that's right. You did purchase a laser pistol. That's right. I forgot about that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
So now I'm trying to measure out the laser holster and or a laser
Cool.
pistol for a holster, and then I will dual wield a laser pistol
Cool.
and
So,
a regular pistol.
Yeah, is it like it probably came with the holster, right? Like it probably came with the
Yeah.
thing, but yeah, you're probably you're like fitting yourself and like figuring out which side you want it on and figuring out which hand's going to use which and like, you know, do you want it in the back so you can grab behind you? Do you want it on the front so you can pull them out? Do you want the handles this way or the handles that way? So you're doing the whole thing. Is it all taking place like in your room or like in one of the cargo bays or?
I'm probably in my room for right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like you got like a full length mirror or whatever, and you're sizing it up. You're doing like the turn sideways, like how does it look this way? Turn the other way, how does it
Yeah.
look this way? Yeah, cool.
Yeah, but does it look cool? Or it looks cool. Is it functional? No. Okay. Next. Does it look cool? Yeah, it looks cool. Is it functional? No. Okay. Next.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Because it's all about looking cool, but also being functional.
Yeah.
Because survival
yeah.
is more important.
Sometimes.
Awesome. And Boomer, what are you doing?
All right. Sadly, Boomer's actually got a couple of tasks ahead of him. First things first, while they still have access to the sector net, he's going to go online and download a copy of Rosetta Asteroid for Learning Common.
For what? For what language? I'm sorry. For
For
common?
Learning Common.
Sure.
Yeah, common. Like
Sure.
the English language.
Yeah. English.
As soon as I get that purchased and it's downloaded,
Yeah.
Immediately he's going to begin putting together everything needed for a dossier and identity application, and to actually make quote friend unquote a legal, like according to Giorgio, member of the crew. So it's not like Giorgio comes on and just kicks him right off. So
Yeah.
Boomer's actually putting all the applications together, actually changing all the paperwork to actually reflect the addition of a crew member.
Okay. So what name do you give him?
I'll post it in chat.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. I don't know how to say that last name, so I'm not going to.
How on earth do you pronounce that? I'm just gonna call him Bane.
That's actually what I was going to go with.
Perfect.
I'm just going to call him Chan.
Actually, his last name's actually Russian Cyrillic for
Okay.
Gogo's last name.
Got it. It's cool.
Wow.
So-
Look at you doing research and shit. I love it. Cool.
So yeah, all of his applications are just
Yeah.
so he
And-
has an ID.
And just as
so
a
he's
reminder, like
multipass,
you'll have access to the sector net up to 6 hours because it takes approximately 6 hours to get out of system, so you guys can actually make a drill. So you'll have plenty of time to do all that. And also with the Rosetta Stone thing, it's probably an exchange program it's probably free because the exchange wants everybody to learn English so that they can trade with everybody, right? Because
even better.
they're the money people.
But that is, I'm focusing all of my energy to get all of the bureaucratic stuff done. So
Cool.
when we meet Giorgio, it's like he's already a member of the crew and he has identity and
Right.
so forth.
Yeah,
But-
he could definitely be like a hireling for you guys. Like that's how you can set him up. Like, hey, we picked up this guy. He does X or whatever. He won't be like Westwind employed because they haven't employed him, obviously, right?
Right, but I am filling out an application for him
Sure.
to work for Westwind under.
Sure. Yeah, and that interview process will be interesting. So, you fill all that information out. Yeah, absolutely. That's going to take the better part of probably your travel time to the edge of the sector, or to the edge of the system to drill out. Job description cook. There you go. Perfect. We hired a cook, Giorgio.
He just doesn't cook yet.
That's amazing. Poor Gogo.
Oh god.
You can't stop it. He
Not
will
when
be
it's
the
5
cook.
versus 1 or whatever.
I mean, just wait till the first time you guys get boarded and you tell them to defend the crew. That's when the real fun begins.
Oh boy.
Because remember, I'll remind everyone, I did describe this individual as the peak of human physical fitness.
Yeah.
Yep, I remember this.
Okay.
Which has also led to other teasing.
Yep, right, exactly. Yeah, Gogo likes him a little bit more space truckery, I think.
More beard, for sure.
Right, yeah, more facial hair. Just tell him to grow a beard; he'll do his best.
God, why am I a part of this crew again?
Hi, dog.
Oh my god, that dog's so loud.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys get in your ship. Gogo, it's time to whir up the engines. You guys, turn them on. Everything kicks into gear. We get the playlist with the music starts blasting. Everybody knows it's time to take off, and you get the clearance from the control tower or whatever that you're clear to take off. And you're also probably given like a message or like a space mail or whatever that says, even though you've visited this planet before, unless you have specific like dealings with someone here and can provide us with X amount of information, you'll not be allowed back into the system without challenge, etc., etc. They're basically telling you that like you came here under the pretenses that you were given authorization by Victor. If you come back and don't have any other authorization to come into system, we'll blow you up. That's
Noted.
basically what they're telling you, and I'm just telling
It's
you
okay.
as a GM.
We know that they don't have any motorcycles here, so there's no reason to come back.
This is a good point. And yeah, you guys, after getting that message, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and it's like a 300,000 word fucking document, and you scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you finally get bottom, and then the accept button pops up, and you hit it, and then you guys are cleared for
I feel like
takeoff.
at some point Gogo has forced some probably, well, I mean, obviously Boomer, but to make some sort of add-on for her so that it just autos to the bottom of all of these stupid
just
things
auto
so that she
scrolls
can
to the
just hit
bottom.
accept.
Sure, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's canon.
Even when it is explicitly auzing our termination.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it literally
Yeah.
literally iTunes. I agree. Just
Right.
don't even fucking read it.
Yep.
Screw that. We don't need none of that terms of service. Fuck that. We're out. Cool. So you guys take off, and you begin your slow ascent into the vastness of space. And you guys get into orbit, and you're usually at like the comms console, right? Fortune? Yes.
Yeah.
Fortune. Do me a favor, roll me a computers check.
Hooray, I'm gonna break something. Where did I put my...
Based off wisdom, actually, not intelligence.
Computer... Wisdom...
Nice, a 7. That's pretty good.
Cool.
So you notice there's a lot of traffic, like kind of back and forth on the comms. But in addition, like also on like the display for like the sensor readouts, right? There's generally like just in general like a lot of traffic around. It's kind of like a beehive a little bit. But as far as like what may be causing that, who the fuck knows? They're fucking pirates. Who knows? Maybe they're getting ready to go fucking kill somebody, or maybe there's just like a festival. Like the reason for that is unknown, but there's definitely like an increase in chatter and traffic when you are departing, as opposed to when you are coming in. Maybe they were jamming you the first time, so nobody could like talk to you. Like that's also a possibility, but it would be hard to determine why you're getting a lot more traffic going out than you did coming in. But yeah, so you begin moving to the edge of the system, and once you get about 6 hours out, we need to make a jump. Let me move everybody back to here. And So, if we're going to, I assume, only go a jump at a time there, pilot?
I mean, we're going to, right? We have to go to the...
Yes, you have to go. You have to go to.
Going.
Yep. You have to go to 506 is where you're headed to.
I mean, I have my reroll.
You do.
So
You do.
I'm gonna do the double jump.
You're gonna do the double jump. Cool. Awesome. So let's just remind ourselves. I think it's normally a difficulty 8, right? Or is it normally a difficulty 7?
7. It's
Yeah.
normally 7.
So it's gonna be a +1 for the extra jump, I believe. Let me just double check that real quick because it's been 2 weeks for me as well. Yep. It is going to be a difficulty 8 roll for you because it is +1 for full distance rolled per 2 full hexes. So you're going 2 full hexes, so it's -1 on your roll, which really means difficulty 8. And it is a navigation check. Boom, nailed it. No problem.
Got it.
Yeah. So you guys in the span of 3.5 days, actually. So it takes you like half the amount of time because you decided to jump straight there. So let me get to... Oh. You know what I wished Roll20 did? You guys want to know what I wish Roll20 did? I wish that when I moved all of the players, it also moved the GM. 1, 2, 3.5, because I think you guys were on kind of in the middle of the night. So it is now the 15th of March. It's the Ides of March, and you guys have arrived in 506. And having bypassed 607, you didn't pick up any traffic or mail or any bullshit like that. You just go straight to 506. And as you guys, are going through on these 3.5 days, it's not too long. But Oscar, I believe there was a roll you had to make to see if you could find anything with the ship that may have been eaten.
If there was a roll, I don't know that you told me what that would be.
No, I specifically didn't tell you yet.
Yeah.
Because you would not have had reasonable time within the... I assume everybody was getting off of there pretty quickly to do a full accounting of the ship. Also, I don't know if you would want to enlist help. So during the 3.5 days is when you can make this roll to figure that out. At least internal systems, and enlist help if necessary.
I think he would almost certainly go to Gogo would be a logical choice if it weren't concerning something potentially eating the ship.
Sure.
And something I already don't necessarily like.
So Boomer is the next logical.
Yeah, sure.
As our tech person who might just think it's funny, Oscar would probably go and ask him for assistance.
Okay, so what does that scene play out? Boomer, where can we find you during this journey?
Does Fortune have any sort of like background with ships or that sort of tech, or would that be kind of...
I mean, you would probably know. You guys have been traveling for, almost
I'm
3
asking
months.
I'm asking as a player.
Yeah, Fortune. Do you have any tech or ship or anything like that related skills that would have been apparent?
No, I do not.
So you're invested in calibrating your new laser pistol,
yeah,
and you're not interested in... Okay, cool. Yeah, so Oscar would just go and find Boomer wherever he is at.
So where is Boomer? When where can we find you during your journey?
You'd probably find Boomer as he's finishing all of the bureaucratic documents required for Bane Chan.
So maybe like the meeting room or something,
like the conference
surrounded
room.
in...
Just like surrounded by paperwork.
Reasonable. Okay.
Sure. So he'd walk in and say, Boomer, good news first. I found Stanley. Secondarily, he is much larger than he was. This does not stand to reason since, as far as I'm aware, we ran out of his food weeks ago. would you help me look around the ship to determine if he's been nibbling on anything at all?
Yes. One second. Putting the papers in like a folder and like dropping it in Giorgio's box. Like, okay, that's done.
You see, he can burrow through rock. It's
I remember.
yeah, he's
okay.
he's just going on about like why this should be concerning.
Yeah.
Like,
I get it. You start on top, I'll start in the bottom.
Yeah, cool.
sure.
So yeah, so you guys can use like different skills for this. A reasonable one would be Tech Astronautic. That'd probably be the best one to go with for either of you that may have it. One of you can help the other, or you each can roll separate skills. For example, like another good probably skill to use would be just regular Tech Post-Tech, but it probably wouldn't be as accurate. It'd be a higher difficulty.
So would standard perception not be specific enough to,
perception
like...
would totally be, but it would be much higher on the, because like if let's just say Oscar's traveling through like a duct, does he really know what he's looking at to see if something has been eaten or not?
Oh sure, no, I totally get that.
So perception is totally a skill you can use, but it will be a much higher difficulty than Tech Astronautic, which is really the one I'm looking for here. To notice if anything's wrong with the ship. Or you can attempt to assist by rolling your Tech Astronautic and having Boomer roll Tech Astronautic, or vice versa, however you want to work it out.
I think the best bet would be for me to assist with Tech Astronautic, since I think Boomer has that, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so I'll try to assist.
Yeah, roll a Tech Astronautic. Your difficulty is going to be 8. And it's based on... Yeah, no, didn't get it. Nope. So, Boomer, you get to roll Tech Astronautic, and your difficulty will be 8. And it's based on intelligence.
Okay.
Oh, I definitely didn't get it then. I rolled it with wisdom.
Yeah, no. This would kind of be in the moment, but for this particular skill, it's like knowing if something is out of place. And you would have to know about systems and not necessarily just observe them.
I'm going to use my reroll.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, go for it.
Maybe.
Yeah, nice. Cool. So what that looks like is Oscar is probably like what you're probably doing, Oscar, is you're probably finding things that are just wrong with the ship.
He's trying to help.
Right.
He's trying to help, but it's distracting.
You're finding things that are just wrong with the ship. Not something that Stanley did, but something that's just straight up broken, and like bringing it to Boomer like, hey, does this look like? And Boomer's like, no, that's been broken for weeks. And he's just like,
awesome.
Okay.
Hey, in fact, I think Fortune broke that 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, you go like set it gently back where it was. Like, so everybody knows where the piece is.
Some portion of that is probably a victim of the hooch that he drank.
Exactly.
Like something that was next, like on the adjacent wall to where he was.
Yep, absolutely. And so, yeah, I think that the 7 your first rolled, Will, is probably a relative of that being a bit distracting for you, like, climbing an air ducts, and all of a sudden, like, Oscar just appears, right? Because he just appears in places. And he's like, hey, does this look like... And you're just like, no, you're, like, hands deep in, like, some electrical conduit, and, like, you're like, no, it's not. But then eventually, Will, you do find what Stanley has been feeding off of. And the good news is it won't affect the ship directly. Like, you don't have any problems with, like, the, in fact, it's probably helping the ship a little bit. He's actually feeding on the mineral deposits that are located in, like, the HVAC system. The bad news is, if he continues to do so, he will eventually run out of that and have to find another source of food.
How much is left in the HVAC system?
Enough to get you probably back to enough to probably get you back to West Wind controlled space.
Okay.
If like you make very little side jumps.
Okay. While I'm here, and I've already got everything I need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using the Horizons multi-tool function to scrape all of the mineral that I can out of it, putting it in a bag, and I'm going to give the bag to Oscar.
Okay.
It's like, okay, this is how we're going to feed him for now.
Sure,
Just-
yeah.
So is there
again.
like a moment of explanation where you got that from? Then
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So
the deal
he would
is
yeah.
the deal is the only reason these mineral deposits would be here is because of like lack of maintenance, lack of care of the ship.
Yeah.
Because remember, you're almost 2 months out of maintenance.
We're trying
See,
to set a
he's
dress.
saving us money.
Yeah, kind of. But I mean, it wouldn't probably be a substantial enough amount that it would. It would
He's
help you.
like one of those symbiotic fish that
Mhm.
clean the teeth of.
Yeah. Or like the suckerfish in the the koi pond or whatever.
Oscar would just when you hand him the bag, he would just ask you, Boomer, is there any way we can decrease the efficiency of the filter? Can you break it in a way that allows us to still
As he's
fly?
asking me this, my eyebrows are slowly going higher on my forehead.
Like, I see. I expect nothing. you.
Wait, Oscar, wait. Here's what we're gonna do. We're never gonna tell Gogo, and I'll see what I can do.
So you can break it.
We will stop using that word and go. I can make changes.
You can unfix it.
I can make changes to produce this for. What do you call him, Stanley now?
That is correct.
Okay. I will make the changes needed so that we can feed Stanley, and this is how you're going to mine what you need.
Boomer, that is an excellent idea. I have another request of you.
Oh?
I noticed the paperwork. You see, if he's going to be working on the ship, perhaps we should make him official.
Make Stanley official? Like a person? Or like a...
You can use my surname.
Oh my god, please.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Oscar, you are willing to do a great favor for me by teaching me about this Shrek. I can do this for you. I will do this for you. Okay.
You see, Boomer, we like to mentor lesser species. Perhaps I
If
could
we can
take...
just gloss over me being a lesser species, then yes, I will do it.
We may gloss.
Okay. So Jordan,
I think
it's the perfect
yeah.
end to the interaction.
I think that's an appropriate place to put that
Yep.
to rest for just the moment. Yes.
For just this one trip.
He gives you like the pleased little Oscar nod, and then he goes about his way.
You can't see his face. There's no smile. It's just a little short, like, quick nod.
Yes,
Cool.
absolutely.
Awesome.
so Jordan, guess how I'm spending the next 3 days.
Yeah. And like, so here's the deal. One, obviously, making it in a way that Gogo can't detect it is important. Two, making it in a way that the maintenance crew that then comes on after you won't just fix it. That's the real hard part. So over the course of 3 days, we'll give you a roll once we finish like all the interactions throughout the 3 days, and then we'll see how good you make it.
All right, and the application for Stanley.
Sure, yeah, we'll go with the application for Stanley.
Out of character, I'm not particularly concerned with the
Yeah, I don't.
Oscar will not be super concerned if,
I think that
particular thing doesn't get done.
There probably is a method of like applying for like service animals or service aliens in this case.
Yeah, he can be like an emotional support worm.
Yeah. But they actually have to like you have to prove that they serve some purpose. But this eating harmful minerals on the ship is totally a purpose he may serve. Who knows? Or come up with some other purpose that Stanley may serve on the ship that is reasonably understandable. Cool.
Perfect.
So over the course of the next 3.5 days, Fortune, you've got your belt tidied up just nicely.
Yeah.
And
so now every time I enter a room, I make sure I put that side of my hip forward.
Yeah, sure.
So that way everyone sees the new.
Yep, absolutely. So I think that you probably have a moment of like you're probably in the latrines, and I will remind everybody that the latrines have 2 large holes in them now. At least the male latrine. And
that sounds good.
There's probably a moment where you're in the latrine, and you hear a voice through one of the holes, and it's friend, and he's speaking a language you don't understand, but it appears to be like a questioning tone.
So not like in a sultry manner.
No.
Is he looking through the hole at me?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he bent down and like looked through the hole, and then like once he saw you acknowledged him, he did like the head down bow thing again, but he's like asking a question.
I will finish my duties here.
Mm-hmm.
And I will walk over to Margot's room and knock on the door.
Yeah, and I think he follows you. Gogo, you get a knock on the door. Are you back, Megan?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Who's knocking on my door?
Perfect. You didn't hear any of it. Yeah, Fortune is.
Okay.
So I knock on the door.
You knock very loudly. We've gone through this.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
There's probably a system in place to get attention of Gogo when music is playing.
I feel like there's
it's probably gunshots in the hallway.
Boomer installed a doorbell and like a light dimmer.
A laser pistol is sort of light.
Light, yeah.
Sure.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, so you get her attention, and you come out, Gogo, and you see that, like, there's Fortune, he's standing there, and then behind him is Friend, and he's, like, bowed, and he asks a question again, and you understand this to be, because you know by now, right, because you've been working with him, like, how can I serve you, is what he's saying.
Gogo's just staring at you, like, yes.
I'm like,
Can I help you?
He was asking me questions through the hole in the bathroom.
You were in the bathroom and he started asking you questions?
I think, but through the hole that were put there by Oscar.
All right. How exactly did he... Never mind. I think I would say something to, Friend. Well, I think we should probably call him what we'll start calling him. Chan.
Well, wait. Is Margot even aware?
No, I don't think Margot's aware of that.
So I wouldn't say that, yeah. I would probably just be like, why were you asking to assist him? I think he's got it under control.
Yeah, so again, you get my apologies, and then I was tending to the crew. I did not know if he required assistance. My apologies, Grand Overseer Gogo.
So at that point, I'm like, so what did he say?
I would just nod and say, don't worry, it won't happen again. And just like usher him inside.
That would be appreciated.
Door slams. Fortune is left standing outside like, what in the actual fuck?
Yeah, confused. Yeah.
Margot would not explain.
So I'm walking back to my room, like asking myself like about 15 different questions. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the conversation is had between Margot and friend. You don't need to assist people when they're in that specific room.
Maybe teach him to ask that question in English, and it'll be much better.
I think that he responds with, my apologies, Grand Overseer Gogo. As assigned to my last overseer, who shall not be named, as Grand Overseer Gogo is the one true overseer. This was part of my responsibilities. I will amend them post haste, per Grand Overseer Gogo's traditions and customs.
Oh, Margot just, flare of anger, obviously not at him, but she would just be like, yes, amend them, and then just kind of like trail off.
Sure, yeah. And I think there's the moment of like confusion because you didn't like tell him how, but then he just like, he nods curtly and begins to go about his duties again around the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Margot's studying intensifies.
Ran out of game, Margot. Have you told him what to do if we need to go to battle stations?
I don't think that conversation has come up yet.
No. There's a lot of conversations that I haven't had yet.
That may need to be a good one.
She's trying to figure out how to do.
Right, the main problem is, like, finding out what the limitations are, right? Like, communication between Gogo and Friend are pretty good now. Like, they're getting to a level where, basic kind of broken conversations can be had.
Yeah.
But it will take perhaps a few more weeks of study and, like, intensive for him to, like, start being able to communicate, verbally with the rest of the passengers, because they are not studying, like, his language so intensely.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So, moving on. I think that if no one else has anything that they intend to do on their travels, you guys can arrive in the wonderful place we've already been to, known as 506, which is the Vendita system. And Vendita 8 is your destination, which is the planet of Furyal. And for those that may forget, Furyal is that planet with that Cold War on it, with essentially what is Eastern European, North and South Korea.
Hooray.
Yeah, and you guys have some things to do here. And I think that once you guys arrive in system, we get the traditional, like, here's your spam of 30 spam emails or advertisements or whatever that I'll just auto get deleted at this point.
Yeah, Fortune just, like, multiple X. Okay, we're back.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I think that, importantly, the ship gets a message, and Oscar, you get a message as well. Oh, no, and Fortune gets a message, actually. 3 messages. 1 to the ship, 1 to Fortune, 1 to Oscar.
I checked the ship message, since I'm probably at the communications thing anyways.
Yep, absolutely. The ship message is from Giorgio. And essentially it reads, it's not an audible message, it's just a typed message. It reads, "That's great news, because I was really starting to get attached to this planet, ... It's like, when can I expect you? Hope to hear from you within the next ... week, ? Lots of ellipses in his missive to you. And then I think that at the end of his message, there's also like the, expenses are piling up on this mission. Won't be a whole lot of profit if you don't come back soon. Winky smiley face, trying to be nice so you can come pick his ass up. But also somewhat threaten you with lack of money.
Yeah. So I just send him a brief response back. On our way. That's it.
Yeah, and he will get it like almost instantly because you're in the same system now.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Does the one for Oscar go to his compad?
Yeah, it goes to your personal account, which you can access from your database in your room or your compad.
So who sent Fortune a message?
It's from your employers. Well, your other employers, the Claris
Okay.
group. It doesn't say the Claris group, but like automatically based on like verbiage and how it's addressed that it's from them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I will say, okay, I'll be right back, and then I'll run to my room.
Yeah. And Oscar, have you taken up? Here's a question for Oscar. During all of the jumps so far, have you been in the captain's chair more often since your incident on Paphos?
Oh no,
Okay.
no. When that was because the situation required it
Sure.
explicitly.
Sure. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, he would. I think he would have actually been like just practicing a bit. Like after the whole Victor thing, I think even more so than usual, you would have found him kind of like in open space, just kind of practicing with his sword
Sure.
and doing his meditations and such.
Which sword?
Yes.
Both of them, then.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Cool.
trying but probably failing to do anything spectacular with both of them.
Sure, not simultaneously is
Yeah. So like trying, but then like
realizing that's not your style.
realizing that he can't support himself. Like he drifts downward as he's meditating if he attempts to pick up two, or like he almost cut his foot off when he was trying to swing two around with his mind. You know.
Sure.
So like realizing he's not quite there yet.
Being the keyword.
He's working very hard towards something.
Right. Yeah. You have a goal in mind, and you've begun
Yes.
to achieve it. Cool. Awesome.
But yeah, definitely not up in the captain's chair.
So yeah. So do you check your message?
Yeah. Whenever I get it.
Yeah, absolutely. You get it like almost as soon as you pop into the system. And so like if you're in like maybe one of the cargo bays, like training or doing whatever, you're probably still a little anxious about coming in and out of drive space.
Yeah, he doesn't want any flashbacks.
Right, yeah. So maybe you're in like a big open area. Maybe that's safer in case anything does happen. I can't blow anything up or
Buckled in somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Like with cargo ties.
Yep, precisely. Yeah, you get it, and it's an encrypted message. You can't see the sender. But it's not like Shriek encryption or whatever.
Sure, I don't recognize it to be...
Correct, you don't recognize
Yeah.
it. So if you open it up, it is a message, and essentially it says, it's been a while since we've heard from you. We were wondering what the status of your vacation was. I hope it was a pleasant stay, and I hope that you took lots of pictures and have plenty of memories to share with us. And then it's signed -N.
So, my guess is Natalia, probably. Right?
I mean, it's a reasonable assumption, yeah.
It's a
Makes
reasonable
sense.
assumption. I would ask the other crew if they received any, like without saying that I got a message, I would ask anyone if they had received any personal correspondence from Natalia.
Sure. And obviously,
So
the
like I
rest of
kind of
crew,
make the
I assume,
rounds,
says
like
no.
maybe. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we don't have to go through that if the answer is actually no.
I mean, does anyone lie to Oscar about receiving?
Nope.
Boomer, are you like, oh yeah, we talk all the time, bro?
He's fairly perceptive. I would
No.
challenge that.
Okay.
Boomer would probably just look bleary-eyed from all the bureaucratic documents he's had to fill out for his
Yeah,
sandwich.
his
Just like,
eyes are just
what?
straight bloodshot. Yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. Yeah, so he would reply to that and just say, Yes, back in system, lots to share.
Yeah, cool.
And just sign it, sign off Oscar.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
nothing more tangible than that in terms of information.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and like you see it get sent, and it does that thing when you send something, it gets hung up. Like it goes like most like 80%, the bar fills up, and then it hangs for a while, and then after maybe like 2 or 3 seconds, then it finally sends off. Which is abnormal, right? Because normally it's space, and it just does it like this instantly.
Correct. And we're on, we're in that system.
You're
right?
in system, right? So you're if this is like instantaneously after you guys arrive, you're like 6 hours out for y'all.
So is
like,
it reasonable to expect that it's going back through some encrypted?
Yeah, for sure.
Encrypted channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a reasonable assumption. Or I mean, like maybe something's blocking communication from the ship, or whatever. Who knows? There's tons of explanations, but yeah, the going through encryption is the most likely one.
Sure.
Just because there's tons of ways I can fuck with you guys, and I just want to make sure you guys are all aware of them at all times. Cool.
Well, no real material was sent, so I think
you're fine. You're fine. No big deal.
He would have been more cautious if he was like, yeah, here's all this shit that we found.
Yep, absolutely. And then I assume that that Fortune, you open up yours, right?
I do.
Yeah, so it's a message not directly from like high command or whatever, but it is a message from like the representative of command within like the local cluster.
Okay.
And it says contract canceled as per request. And that's like the automatic message, and then below it has like a personal, like somebody actually like typed it in. It says thanks for the cut, and it's just signed like whoever might have given it to you, which is probably oh no, it says thanks for the cut, and sorry to hear about our friend.
Yeah.
And then it has like the signature, which is probably like probably Doberman is the name that is given to you. He's understandably like probably like the local cluster liaison.
Yeah. All right. I say brief. Yeah, no problem. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool.
And probably just let me know if you have anything else.
Right, yeah. And like you don't get like an immediate response or like a notification that it's sent here, so he's probably not in this particular system. But yeah, he's obviously somewhere in the cluster doing stuff and things. Cool. So, barring anything else within the next 6 hours, do you guys want to take a quick little, like, I don't know, 7-ish minute break here? Go stretch your legs, grab a drink, go pee.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Just in time for another beer.
Perfect. It's like I planned it that way. All right,
I
I'll meet
think
you guys,
you did.
though. Hey, hold on. All right, we are back for some more Olympus Rises. Hope you guys were enjoying it. I can't wait. We're going to do some more.